Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something huge, a challenge that every single organization faces when they move to the cloud. How do you build a solid foundation? We're going to explore how to architect what we call the paved road on Azure, and how it can turn a chaotic, wide-open landscape into a streamlined superhighway for all your development teams. So picture this. You just got access to your company's Azure environment. It's a blank slate, a world of pure possibility. But then you see it. There are over 200 services to choose from, everything from virtual machines to AI to quantum computing. That feeling of possibility, it can turn into analysis paralysis really fast. It's that classic paradox of choice, right? Where do you even begin? Well, without a plan, your teams end up wandering down what we call the unpaved path. Every single project becomes its own special snowflake, with one-off decisions about networking, security, which database to use, you name it. And what you get is, well, it's chaos. You get massive inconsistencies, you get security holes you could drive a truck through, and you get serious decision fatigue, where your teams are spending more time just trying to navigate the cloud than actually building cool stuff. And this right here really frames the whole idea. On one side, you've got that slow, risky, and totally inconsistent unpaved path. But on the other, you have the paved road, a path that is fast, secure, and standardized. And look, the goal here isn't to limit what people can do. It's to give them a clear, super efficient way to get to where they're going safely. So what is a paved road, really? It's not about putting up walls. It's actually a set of pre-approved, well-architected, and secure components. Think of it like a curated catalog of trusted building blocks. A central platform team puts these together so developers can build their applications fast, without having to become experts in cloud infrastructure themselves. Okay, so how do we actually build this thing? Where do we start? Well, it all begins with laying the foundation. We have to pour the asphalt, and in the world of Azure, that means getting your subscriptions and landing zones set up correctly from day one. The whole structure is hierarchical. So at the very top, you have management groups. This is where you apply those big, broad policies like, hey, no public IP addresses in any production environment. Simple. Below that, you have subscriptions, which are basically containers for billing and resource limits. And then inside those, you have resource groups, which hold all the little pieces for a single application. It's all about creating organized, governable spaces instead of a free-for-all. All right, we've got the basic structure in place. Now it's time to build out the real infrastructure. This is where we create the highways and the guardrails for our platform. You know, the networking, the security, and the observability that keeps everything running safe and sound. Now, the core of our highway system is something called the hub and spoke network model. The hub is your central virtual network. It's got all the shared stuff, like firewalls and your connections back to your own data centers. Then, each application team gets their own spoke network, which connects securely back to that hub. This model is great because it prevents network chaos and makes sure all the traffic gets inspected properly. Now, for the guardrails. We use something called Role-Based Access Control, or RBAC, to define who gets to do what. But here's the key. Instead of giving permissions to individual people, we create groups in Entra ID, like one called App Dev Contributors. Anyone in that group can, say, deploy code to an app service, but they can't touch the core network settings. Nope, that's reserved for the platform admins. It's the principle of least privilege put into practice. And what happens when a car breaks down on our highway? Well, you need roadside assistance. A really good paved road comes with observability built right in. This means you have centralized logging, so all your logs go to one place. It means you get default monitoring dashboards for every new app automatically. And it means you have pre-configured alerts for common problems. No one is ever left stranded on the side of the road. So we've built the road, we've got the highways, we've got the guardrails. Now for the payoff. Let's actually walk through what the journey looks like for a developer who needs to build a new app. This is where the magic really happens. Okay, so a developer goes to a service portal and just requests a standard app. They don't have to know the nitty-gritty of networking or security. The platform sees that request and automatically kicks off a predefined CI/CD template. And that template provisions everything they need: a resource group, an app service, a database, all the monitoring, the whole shebang. A few minutes later, the team gets an email with their endpoints and connection strings. And that's it. They're ready to code. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the matter. By doing all that architectural heavy lifting up front, the platform team creates this smooth, secure experience. They define the paved road, so the app teams are freed from having to figure out every single Azure building block from scratch. It shifts their focus from infrastructure to innovation, which is exactly where you want it to be. You see, this whole approach just completely transforms the cloud from being a source of complexity into a genuine accelerator for your business. It gives teams the freedom to innovate, but within a framework of safety and best practices. And really, it just leaves us with one final big question to think about. Now that the road is paved, what are you going to build on it?